After publishing our first disc, Flashback, with music mostly from Germany, we wanted to showcase the great pieces of the French school, in which the saxophone has its roots. Adolphe Sax was the first saxophone professor at the Paris Conservatoire, and after him musicians like Marcel Mühl, Daniel Defaillet and Claude Delangle had a big influence on the French music of their time. With their excellent music making, they all encouraged composers to write music for the saxophone. And the composers answered their call with some wonderful pieces of music. The name French Connection reflects those roots, but is also very personally motivated by my own relation to the French culture and language. The first CD has an accent on impressionistic pieces like Debussy, Schmitt or Caplet. It is colorful music and does often not even have a theme. Like in the work of Schmitt, for example, it is really about playing with colors. The saxophone has an enormous range of dynamics, which enables it to express all these different characters. The second disc has a more virtuosic, light and entertaining character, with works of Demersmann and Born featuring almost operatic piano parts. It also contains arrangements by Born and Piazzolla of pieces originally written for the flute, which showcases again the great flexibility of the saxophone.
It is a challenge to stay true to the original work when transcribing a piece for the saxophone that was originally written for the flute. It is not the intention to imitate the flute, but to perform the piece, like for example the Born Fantasy and the Piazzolla, with a certain lightness and elegance. The Fantasy by Demersmann, for instance, is written in a very flute-like manner. Although the piece is an original piece for the saxophone, it does feel a bit like a flute piece, probably because Demersmann himself was also a flutist. As a pianist, I always try to adapt to the instrument I play with. A singer, for example, needs a softer, more intimate approach, while the saxophone with its powerful sound requires a more diverse scale of sound and colors from the piano. For the saxophone, it's a challenge to adapt to the sound of the piano as well, choosing the right materials, like a classical mouthpiece and reeds, as well as using an embouchure that allows Guido to play in all registers in different dynamics, is elementary to making this possible. Living in Iceland gives us the opportunity to concentrate deeper on our work. In our now 15 years of duo Ultima, we have always worked on a good sound balance between the two instruments. Our choice of the music is one part of it, but so is the interaction, the orchestral perception of sound in Schmitt, Debussy and Caplet.
Around 1850, Adolphe Sax invented a wind instrument that comes close to the human voice. The special shape of the mouthpiece creates a very unique sound. That's also the reason why it is not related to the clarinet, since the clarinet is built differently. The sound is very flexible, which makes it possible to imitate other instruments as well.